guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Paul, and if you're new, please hit the subscribe button down below and the all notification bell to the right hand side. I'm going to be doing lots of different videos on this YouTube station consisting of saving money and other things. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, please hit the subscribe button down below. It's a great way to support YouTube channels. Now today I'm making a classic Alfredo sauce noodles, and what I did was I went to Walmart and I bought Ragu classic Alfredo sauce. This was only $2.19 for the jar. Now, of course, if you're going to make a pound of noodles, you're going to want one jar of this. If you make 2 pounds of noodles, you're going to want a couple jars of this, and so on and so forth. But it's only $2.19 a jar, which is not that bad. If you hear a little bit of talking in the background, that is my neighbors, so sorry about that. I also picked up a box of bow ties. These are great value bow ties. You can get them at Walmart, 92 cents a box, very cheap and very affordable. Of course, you can get more than one box if you need more than one box. I also picked up some diced tomatoes, great value. These are 72 cents a can, which is not that bad. I picked up a couple cans of these to add into the noodles and Alfredo sauce. I also picked up broccoli florets, and these can be put in the microwave and steamed, which I'm going to do right now. These are only $1 a bag, which is not bad, and I got these to add to the Alfredo noodles. Now, you don't need to add broccoli. You don't need to add tomatoes if you do not like those items. You can keep them out. You can also add meat. You can add chicken, beef, tuna, whatever you want. I've had it with tuna before. It's very good. But anyways, that's what I'm cooking for me today. I wanted to show you, and I will, of course, include a picture on this video of what I'm cooking. But today I wanted to talk about supporting YouTube channels. There's a lot of channels out there that I support myself. I watch all kinds of channels, including family vlogging channels, but I watch a lot of money saving videos. I watch a lot of reselling videos. And it is just important to support other YouTube channels. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel yourself, it is good to support other channels, because without those channels, there would be no YouTube. Without them creators, there would be no YouTube, and there would be no YouTube for people to watch. Without the viewers, there would be no YouTube. So people that are viewing these creators' videos and subscribing to them and hitting the like button and hitting the all notification bell are supporting these YouTubers in what they do. And there's some people out there that just do it for the money, but it's very hard to build a channel. If you're thinking you're going to build a channel quickly to make money off of YouTube, it does not work that way. It takes a very long time to build up a YouTube channel normally. Now, some people get lucky and they can get thousands of subscribers within a minimum amount of time and very quickly, but then there's other channels where it's taken 5-6 years to build up their channel to where they are now. So you always want to keep that in mind. If you are looking to start your own YouTube channel, it is very rewarding, not because of the money or the money that you can make, but it's very rewarding because you get to share your ideas or your thoughts and things with other people around the world. People that are going through, like if you make a cooking channel, people that are going through hard times and can't afford meals, you're making cheap meals, you're sharing it with people, you're sharing your stories of depression, anxiety, stress, and all them other things. And a lot of people out there in the world could relate to that. Me, myself, I suffer from depression, and YouTube is something that I use to help with my depression. And the reason why I suffer major depression and anxiety and stress, I know there's people out there that do suffer these things just like I do, but some suffer more than others. And YouTube is like an escape for me. I can watch videos and become happy just from watching a video. Mainly family vloggers. vloggers. Okay, the family vloggers, they vlog their whole family. They vlog them going to Disneyland. They vlog them doing challenges and things like that. And those are the kinds of things that make me happy to watch and take my mind off of other things. Now, if you watched my previous video, I did tell you in my previous video I was really abused when I was younger. And that's one of the reasons why I suffer from major depression, anxiety, stress, and things like that. I also have a couple other diagnoses like intermittent explosive disorder. And if you don't know what intermittent explosive disorder is, that is when you hold something inside yourself and you blow up. Now, there's several people that do that, but there's other people that do it more often. And I was in that predicament where I would just hold everything inside of me and just blow up at a random person. Let's say you're going to Walmart and you're going through the checkout, and a cashier gets smart with you or snotty with you or whatever. You might want to blow up, and you might blow up at that person. And that's the type of person I was. Now, do I still do it? A little bit, but not as much. And that's because I've been in counseling for quite a few years now. I chose to go to counseling myself to better myself and to better understand what I was going through. Now, when I go into a store, if it's Walmart, if it's a place with self checkout, I always do self checkout. I try not to be around people or deal with people as much as I can, because I don't want to find myself in the predicament where I am blowing up and getting into trouble for it. So when I go to Walmart, I go to self checkout and I check out myself because I'd rather not deal with other people. And a lot of people have that fear of dealing with other people or don't want to deal with other people because they're afraid they're going to blow up, get mad, hurt somebody, whatever the case may be. And if you're one of them people, it is okay to do that. Okay. If you want to refrain from being around other people and things like that, it is okay to do that. But you also want to make sure that you're not keeping everything bottled up inside of you. You want to make sure that you are talking to someone, whether it be a family member, mother, father, brother, daughter, son, grandpa, grandma, okay, or a professional. You want to make sure that you have those options in place to talk to someone and get things off your chest. I go to counseling and I choose to go to counseling myself, and I've been going for a few years, and I have a very good counselor that helps me through different things. It is always good to get things off your chest to someone else, even if you think your counselor is not helping you as much as you would like to. You could still get things off your chest. And that's what I like about going to my counselor, because I could tell her everything and anything. And she basically walks me through some things that might help me in the long run. But just to go to my counselor, just to go to this lady and talk to her and get things off my chest helps me a lot. And that's especially important, especially if you're going through depression, anxiety, or stress. Now, like I said, everybody goes through that at one time or another, but some people go through it more than others. And I'm one of those people because I've had a terrible life. And I think that's one of the reasons why I got the intermittent explosive disorder. And that is a disorder, like I said, and you can get medicine for that. I do not blow up as much as I did before. I could still blow up and still get very angry, but not as much as before. And I think I basically was suffering from that because of my childhood abuse. Like I said, I was abused heavily when I was younger, by both of my brother's fathers. I was beaten. I was mentally abused, physically abused. I lived in cars with my mom. I lived in an ice cream truck with my mom, and I will tell more of those stories in the upcoming videos. I did not know who my father was until I was 13 years old. And I'm not going to put out there why my mom did it, but when I was born, my mom gave me my brother's dad's name. okay, last name. And I'm not going to put out there why she did that. Was she wrong to do that? Yes, she was wrong to do that. Basically, what happened was my brother's father died from a drug overdose, like right before I was born. So there was enough time in that frame to give me his last name that I could have really been his child, but I really wasn't. And basically, my mom gave me his last name, and I thought my dad was dead until I was the age of 13. And then I found out the truth that my dad was really alive. And that really hurt to find out that, because here I was a child thinking that my father was dead all the way up until the age of 13 when I found out by another person that he was really alive. What had happened was when I was 13, someone came up to me and they said, "You know, your aunt is my aunt." And I was like, "No, what are you saying? You're crazy." You know, I was basically telling this kid he was crazy, and he goes, "No, I'm telling you the truth." And I went to this lady, and she goes, "Yes, I'm your aunt." And she told me who my father was. And I went home to my mom. I was out and about playing. And I went home to my mom and I asked her if it was true. And she said, "Yes, it's true." So I met my father when I was 13 years old. And that was very heartbreaking, because I wasted all the years I didn't get with my father. Now, mind you, before I knew he was really my father, I was seeing him off and on. My mom was still seeing him and basically going to where he was going. He used to go to OTB, which is off track betting, horse racing. If you don't know what that is, he used to go there all the time. And my mom used to go there and talk to him all the time. They weren't together anymore, but they were friends and they still talked. And he would give me $1 here, $2 there, whatever the case may be, and he would mess around with me and joke with me and things like that. But I never knew he was my father until I turned the age of 13. And when I found out he was my father, I started to go see him and visit him and get to know him a little bit better. And I got to know the other side of my family. My father had children with other women. He had sons and he had daughters with other women. So I got to know them, and it was very, very cool for me. And I was glad I finally knew who my father really was. And then after that, soon after that, a few years after that, he ended up getting cancer and he ended up dying at the age of 56. So basically, my whole life was a lie, okay? And I didn't know it. And it wasn't my fault because my mother had did it. Um, do I have resentment against my mother for that? Of course I do. Yes, I do. But I still love my mother. You're only going to get one mother in life, and you need to love that mother. And, I know a lot of mothers do things that aren't right. And, there's some people that get adopted that don't have a mother or has a mother that don't want them or whatever the case may be. And that's a very hard situation to go through. At times, me and my mom did not talk. There was a time that we didn't talk for a few years, but we did get talking after that. And if you don't know, in my other videos, I told you that I have lived with my mom for the past 10 years. She had gotten cancer about 6, 7 years ago, and I was taking care of her all the way up until she took her last breath on February 5th of this year. And that was very hard to take. She died of cancer just like my father. I lost my favorite aunt at 42 of cancer. I lost my dad at 56 of cancer. My mom, she was 71, so she was a little bit older, and I lost her to cancer, and I do miss her a lot. Even though there was things that were done when I was smaller that wasn't right, like not knowing my father until I was the age of 13. That certainly was not right on my mom's part. But she had specific reasons for doing that, and I'm not going to get into that. It wasn't because my father was abusive. It wasn't because my mother didn't love my father or whatever the case may be. They were supposed to get married at one point in time, but then something happened and they didn't. So I don't know that whole story, but I know most of it. And, my mother was in a lot of relationships with different men. And most of the men, two of the men, which was my brother's fathers, had beaten me and beaten my mom both. The one father that had beat me, basically, he was a 450-pound biker, and he used to beat me and my mom. Me and my mom actually used to have to hide in the bathroom to eat snacks. Like, we would go to the store and get candy bars, and then we would hide in the bathroom to eat them, or cookies, and hide in the bathroom to eat them from this man. Because if he knew we had anything good, he would take it and he wouldn't allow us to have it. I remember one time we got caught in the bathroom with a candy bar. No, actually, it was cookies. We got caught in the bathroom with an open package of cookies, and we were eating them. And because of that, he hit me in the head with a broom handle. And those days were just crazy. And those are one of the things that I want to explain in my story, my life story, to everybody out there, and to try to put out there that if you are in this kind of situation, you need to get help. You need to get out now before it's too late. Okay. And it's very hard to get out, because when my mother was with this 450-pound biker, he's the father of my brother, but he wasn't the father of me. My mom had four boys, and I was one of those four boys. We all had different fathers. Well, this 450-pound biker that she got involved with was very violent, mentally and physically. Okay. He used to beat my mom. He used to beat me. I remember one time when I was 3 years old, I was just learning how to tie my shoes, and I was on the kitchen floor in his house, and basically I couldn't tie my shoe right. So what did he do? He got up off the chair and kicked me across the floor. Here's a 450-pound man kicking a 3-year-old across the floor because he couldn't tie his shoe right. And during that time, I was learning how to do that. And me and my mom eventually got away from him, but it took years to get away from him. It took years of living in the hotel rooms and living in cars, repainting our car so he would not know what car we were in. We would actually go and steal stuff. We would actually go and steal food from grocery stores, like bread, sandwich meat, and things like that, because we were on the run from this man. Most of the time, we slept in a car. One time, we even slept in the Carvel's ice cream truck, because we met these people that owned a Carvel's ice cream years ago. And basically, they said that we could stay in their ice cream truck as a hideout. So we did that, and it was during the winter that we stayed in the ice cream truck. Me and my mom slept literally in an ice cream truck. And that was to get away from the 450-pound biker, my brother's father. We went to several hotel rooms. We used to live in Schenectady, New York. If you don't know where that is, that's about a few hours from New York. But, we lived in Schenectady, New York, and we went from hotel to hotel room. And for a while, he couldn't find us. And then one day, he did find us in the hotel room. And he broke down the door and kidnapped me and my mom and brought us back to the house again. Okay. And then soon after that, a while after that, we ended up finally getting away from him, and he stopped chasing us. But during that time, we were always getting chased by him, always getting the bad end of the deal. When he kidnapped us and bring him back to his house when I was younger, he actually bring us back to the house. My mom told me about 1 week, 2 weeks later, that she was going to try to get us out of there for good, and so we can escape him from good. Well, my mom went out one day trying to do different things to get set up for us to get out of this abusive situation, this abusive house. And what he did was he locked her out, and he locked me in a room. And basically, he had told me my mom left and she died and she wasn't coming back, which was a lie. My mom actually had to go to a police station and talk to the police and have the police go to my brother's father's house, the 450-pound biker. They knew who he was right away when my mom said Tank Townsend. That is a nickname that he had by the police in the city. They knew very well who he was, and they were actually afraid of him. They went to his house, and basically his son, his older son, not my brother, but his older son was there. And the cop asked the older son, "Where is Mr. Williams?" Meaning me. And he said, "Locked in the bedroom." And he says, "Well, you have to let him out now. His mother wants him out." And he did that. He let me out. And that was the last time that we ran from him, and we finally got away and wasn't in that abusive relationship anymore. Wasn't in that abusive household anymore. So if you're in one of them predicaments, I would suggest that you go and you get help, or you try to escape. Any way that you can escape, I would suggest that you try to escape. It is not right to be abused physically or mentally. Okay? Keep that in mind. You might think that you've done things wrong, that you deserve to be beat, or you deserve to be screamed at, or whatever the case may be, and that is not true. No one deserves to be abused in any way. Yeah, I just burnt my lips. Anyways, nobody deserves to be abused in any way, shape, or form. And there are hotlines that you can call, and I will put a link in the description down below of a hotline that you can call if you find yourself in a predicament like this. It's not a good predicament to be in. There's a lot of people that end up even dead because they think that the abuse, whether it be physical, mental, whatever the case may be, they think that the abuse that they're going through is their fault and that they did something wrong and they deserve to be abused, whether it be physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. And that is not true. Also, like I said, okay, noodles are done now. Also, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that suffer depression and anxiety and stress. And some of that is from these people being in abusive relationships. Whether you're in an abusive relationship and the person is hitting you, or screaming at you, or downgrading you, like telling you you're no good, nobody else wants you. Things like that are not a good situation to be in. So my suggestion is to run and get away from that situation, especially if you have children. Because you being physically, mentally, whatever abused is going to put an effect on your children. Even if they're not getting abused by the abuser, it's going to put an effect on your children to see you go through things like that. Your depression, your anxiety, your stress is going to be seen by your children. So don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put your children in that situation. It's a very bad situation to be in. Choke on a noodle. Anyways, you don't want to be in that situation. So get away from it when you can. Okay? That is my suggestion to you, is that if you're in one of them situations, you want to run and you don't want to look back. Don't think you're doing wrong by running, because you're not only saving yourself, if you have children, you're also saving them. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to put a link down in the description down below of the hotline that you can call in case you're going through one of these situations. I would try to call them and get some information from them. They might be able to help you if you cannot help yourself or you do not know what to do. It would be best to call one of these numbers and ask them what to do and what they can help you with to get you out of the situation you are in. You want to make sure you do that. You do not deserve it. Every human being deserves a life without suffering from abuse, whether it be mentally, physically, whatever the case may be. Every person on this earth has the right to live a good life. Okay? Now, I know there's many people out there that make mistakes and do things that are not right. And that's just the world today. We know how the world is today. The world has changed, especially in the last couple of years with all that's going on with the pandemic and things like that. People homeschooling, food prices going up, gas prices are going up, things are being banned. It's just crazy. The world has changed so much in the last couple of years. It's unbelievable. But you do not deserve to be in a situation of abuse, whether it be physically, mentally, whether it be putting you down and causing you depression, anxiety, stress. You need to get out of it. Um, Even if you don't call one of the numbers, if you suffer from depression, anxiety, stress, go to a counselor, talk to them, see what they can do for you. Sometimes when you go to a counselor or somebody else and you can talk to them and get it off your chest, it helps you in the long run, like it does me. Turn to YouTube, turn to something that makes you happy. You watch movies, whether it be comedy, horror movies, or YouTube stations like I do. I watch a lot of YouTube stations to take my mind off of the depression, the anxiety, the stress, and it does help. It makes me happy. And it makes me happy that I can support these channels. If you want to support a YouTube channel, always subscribe to their channel. Hit the all notification bell. Leave a nice comment on their video. That is supporting the creator. That is supporting YouTubers out there, because without the creators, without the people vlogging their life or vlogging cooking or vlogging money saving videos, whatever the case may be, there would be no YouTube and there would be no viewers neither. Okay, without the viewers, there would be no creators. Okay, so it's important too for YouTubers out there. If you are a YouTuber, it's important to support your viewers in some type of way, whether it be giving their comments a heart and a reply, or doing giveaways, or whatever the case may be. It is great to support the viewers too, because without them, us creators would not be around. But without creators, there wouldn't be people that would be able to watch YouTube. So make sure that if you're watching different channels, you try to support them in any way you can. And that could be leaving a thumbs up, like, or a comment, whatever the case may be. Even a thumbs down actually supports that YouTube creator, because you're still interacting with the video. No matter if you know it or not, you might not like a video and put a thumbs down and basically think, wow, I just ruined that channel. Well, you really didn't, because you're still reacting with that channel. Okay, so that sees it in the algorithm for YouTube and pushes that video even further. So no matter what you do, no matter what video you go watch, try to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to that channel if you're not subscribed. If you're not subscribed to a YouTube channel, it will show up in red and it will say subscribe. Once you push subscribe, it will show up in gray that you're subscribed. And the all notification bell to the right hand side you push, so you get all notifications of that channel upload or when they go live. So keep that in mind. Remember, down below, helpline, and I will see you in my next video.